have you always been this outspoken and principled, or okay?
I always want people to like me. It's one of my flaws. So it took me a long time to speak out about COVID. As I mentioned, I tried kind of timidly at the beginning to say like, hey, maybe we should like think about the downsides of doing this. When I encountered sort of vitriol, I would kind of back down and be like, okay, let's not talk about this. But at some point I felt like morally compelled, like what was going on was so crazy. It was so harmful. I just had to do it. And the same thing happened to me sort of recently with Palestine, where I kind of more or less kept my mouth shut after October 7th, even when I saw, a lot of people in a lot of friends or former friends saying the most heinous things about Palestinians, like they all deserve to die, even the kids, because they're all terrorists anyway. And I was really, just a lot of people that I now work with are on the right. That's just sort of the nature of things. And a lot of them just support Israel no matter what. And so I was frustrated for a number of months just holding my tongue. And then at some point, I had a baby in January, and I was like looking at him. He looks, even though he's only a quarter Palestinian, my husband is not Palestinian at all, but he looks quite Arab. He got like my complexion and everything. And I just was like, these are the kids, like there are so many kids that look like this, just being blown to pieces or starved to pieces or have to starve to death or having to suffer amputations without anesthesia. I mean, it's unspeakably terrible, which is not to say what happened on October 7th wasn't terrible. What happened on October 7th was appalling. I do not support it. I do not support Hamas. I want to be very clear about that. I also don't think that, I think this is Israel's reaction is clearly revenge. It crosses way over the line of like self-defense. And you cannot use a civilian population to get revenge on your enemy or, make a political point to your constituents. That's just totally immoral and violative of international law. So anyway, I was sort of looking at my son and thinking, you know what? I don't want to have to tell him in 20 years that I didn't speak up because I didn't want to lose my job, or I didn't want to lose Twitter followers, or I didn't want to, I didn't want to lose out on professional opportunities because I was afraid of offending people when something so horrible is happening. And so I just decided I went on Twitter and I basically said, I'm done staying silent. This is my story. I gave a little bit of background that, I'd watched my dad be really tormented by not being able to speak up on the subject because he was afraid of the repercussions, and I wasn't going to repeat that mistake. And now the gloves are off, and they've been off for like a month. So
how does it feel? Probably liberating.
I'm happy I did it. A lot of the things I was afraid of didn't happen. I lost some followers. Some people called me an anti-Semite, which I expected, which is ridiculous. But I'm sure that there are professional opportunities I lost that I'll never know about, like people who just don't want to work with me or whatever. But I also got some. You win some, you lose some. That's kind of other people have reached out to me and said they're really happy. Like Barry Weiss asked me to write the piece with Chris Rufo. That was an opportunity that wouldn't have come up if I hadn't been tweeting about this. So I figure I try to be genuine and honest and stick up for what I believe is right, and also not fight battles that aren't worth fighting.
Right. Well, and at the end of the day, you go to bed. There's like a saying in Spanish. It's going to sound really weird to translate, that you go to bed with yourself. So you have to, sleep with yourself at night. And like you said, your child, you have to be true to who you are. And when you're being true to who you are and you're pursuing and protecting your values and your principles, and the people who are aligned with you will see that and they will be attracted to you.